Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today I've got a really cool figure to share with you, and once again it's from the vintage collection, and it is of course none other than the iconic Imperial Stormtrooper. This particular character is an absolute cornerstone of Star Wars collecting and the Star Wars universe in general, and it's really nice to see that Hasbro have finally released the definitive Imperial Stormtrooper. This is the best Stormtrooper figure that money can buy in the 3 3/4 inch scale. I am so impressed with it, very happy to have added it to the collection, and I can't wait to share this one with you in a little bit more detail. Before we do that, however, as always, we are going to take a look at the packaging that this figure comes in. Now, even though this is a Stormtrooper and obviously he's synonymous with A New Hope and the original trilogy and so on, this particular figure does come on a Rogue One card. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of vintage purists out there that absolutely hate this and wish that this figure had been released on a Star Wars, Empire or Return of the Jedi card. But this is fine. I like this. It's something a little bit different. It's not something that we've seen before. The Rogue One logo looks fantastic on the vintage card, and the image that they've chosen on the back there looks really nice. This is obviously a Stormtrooper as they appear on Jeddah, and this just looks cool, man. I love this. It's really nice. Again, adds something a little bit different to the collection. We've not seen a Stormtrooper on any other card from the vintage line other than the ones that they've been released on in the past, so this is fresh, this is new, and I'm a fan. On the back of the card you've got other figures available in the line. This figure is from one of the more recent waves of the vintage collection, so you've got some recent figures pictured here, such as the Praetorian Guard, Lando from Solo: A Star Wars Story, Captain Phasma and Yakface, who we've previously reviewed, so check that video out if you haven't done so already. As you can see on the front there, you've got the Kenner logo once again, and once more, a fantastic card, definitely one that I'd like to add to my mint inbox collection. So there we go, that is the card back that the Stormtrooper comes on. Now let's take a look at this definitive figure. Once again, this is an absolutely awesome piece. I think for a lot of long-time Star Wars collectors who've been collecting since the 90s and obviously the mid-2000s and beyond, we all assumed it would be near impossible to improve upon the vintage original trilogy collection Stormtrooper figure that was released and re-released multiple times since 2004 onwards. That was, you know, for many years the benchmark in terms of 3 3/4 inch Stormtrooper figures, and then this guy came along and completely blew it out of the water. The sculpt on this guy, the screen accuracy, the paint applications, everything about this one, the articulation, it's absolutely superb. The proportions are there. Again, screen accuracy, this is fantastic. I absolutely love this one, and I really hope that we see an upscaled version of it in the Black Series 6-inch line in the near future, because I think the original 6-inch Stormtrooper left a little bit to be desired. There's something quite a little bit off about that figure, but this one in 6-inch scale, that'd be a mind blower for sure. So the figure itself, as I said, fantastic. We'll run through the articulation first, and then we'll touch base on some of the details and accessories. So right off the bat, this guy does feature a ball joint at the head, although it's one of those weird ball joints where you've got a ball in the head and a ball in the neck, so you've got this really fluid, nice movement, really cool. The helmet is non-removable, should just point that out. A lot of people tend to ask with figures such as this, so at least I've addressed that. He does feature hinges at the shoulders as well. He's got a hinge at the elbow, a hinge at the wrist, a ball joint at the torso, ball hinges at the hips, swivels at the upper thigh, hinges at the knees, and hinges at the ankles. One thing I don't think I pointed out in my previous review of Dr. Aphra is the fact that she also features swivels at the upper thigh, and I believe that most of these vintage collection figures have all featured that point of articulation as well. So absolutely fluid movement. I love the amount of articulation that Hasbro have packed into this one. And the finish on the armour is very nice. Now, from a couple of other reviews that I've watched here on YouTube, a lot of other collectors seem to have had an issue with this one in terms of colour changing plastic. They've found that the arms and legs of the figure are brilliant white, but yet the chest armour tends to yellow slightly and is a little bit off-white. With this particular figure, I've gotta say, I can't notice it. The whole figure that I have in hand is brilliant white. It's a nice glossy finish on the armour. Yeah, no issues with it at all. So I guess this probably depends and varies figure to figure as to the finish on the armour. So if you do get a chance to pick up a couple of these in store and you've got a choice of several, I'd just check through them first, make sure that they do look perfect. But in terms of perfection, they don't come much better than this. It's a fantastic figure. In terms of accessories, he does feature the E11 blaster rifle. I almost got it wrong there. E11 blaster rifle, and this one does feature the scope on the side of the barrel. So it is of course accurate to Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, although we've seen numerous E11 blaster rifles released over the years. So you could easily swap this out for a original trilogy accurate E11 if you wanted to plop this guy into your original trilogy displays, which I've done actually. My Stormtrooper is on display with my GTP Toys Space Walls. As you can see, I've got Luke and Vader dueling over there, and this Stormtrooper I've just got off to the side. You'll have seen it in previous reviews. He's off to the side sneaking up on Obi-Wan about to shoot. I know it's not screen accurate, but fun little display nonetheless. So very, very nice figure all round. Definitely one that I'd recommend picking up. Again, if you're a fan of Stormtroopers, if you're trying to put together a collection of core characters from the Star Wars universe, this is an absolute must-have. And again, in terms of figures, they don't come much better than this. Hasbro have really outdone themselves with this one. So again, as always, if you want to pick this figure up for yourself, it is available online via staractionfigures.co.uk. There is a link down below in the video description if you want to pick this figure up. And I'll be back with some more reviews very soon. Got some really cool vintage collection figures to share with you from Solo. Got some Black Series 6-inch reviews to do as well. Tons of content on the way, guys. So I hope that you'll stay tuned for it all. So until then, as always, thank you for watching. Keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.